Okay, so let's go ahead and sort out the cabling and the cable chain for the next part. So what we're going to need is we're going to need the cable chain that's in the cable chain box. There should be 2 of them in there. Let's go ahead and get that out. One, and that's the second. Okay, so as you can see, we've got 2 lengths of the cable chain. What we need here first is we need to shorten the Z-axis cable chain, and we need 24 linkages only of this full length. I'm going to grab a screwdriver, and then I'm going to count up 24 linkages from one end. So I'm going to leave the let's count out 24 of them from the top, 25 including the clip itself. So 25 including the front clip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Once we've got 25, I'm going to go ahead and use a screwdriver to unclip the linkage right there, and then I'm going to go ahead and detach the end of it. And I'm going to keep it loose for the time being because we're going to be needing it out anyway to put the cable through. So that's ready to go, and we're going to keep the other one as is. What we're going to need is cables. And that should be part of the motors kit. Cables ready with me. There should be 3 cables in them, all of them marked. I'll show you in a second. So this cable is marked Z, this is Y, and this is the X cable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open all the linkages. You can get a screwdriver and just open the linkages like that, and they should just pop off. So I'm going to go ahead and undo all of them. The Z cable chain on the Z axis is only going to have 1 cable running through it, and the X-axis cable chain is going to have 1 cable for the end stop and 1 for the motor running through it. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's the Z cable chain. I've taken all the clips off, as you can see. It's a Z cable chain that's going to attach onto the Z axis on the 2040 extrusion, but we're going to be feeding through the Y axis cable through it. So Y axis cable is the longer of the 2 cable. So let's go ahead and find that. So that's the Y axis cable, as you can see. The one with the Y-axis mark, that's going to go towards electronics, and the one with the 6 pin is going to go towards the motor. So I want to make sure that the motor end stays on this side. That's where the motor end cable stays. And now we're just going to come feed right through it, and we can go ahead and put the clips back on. So they should just snap back into place. As you can see, all clips are back in place. I can pull this cable out just a little bit. It's going to go towards the motor. And then I can also attach the other side clip. As you can see, that's where it bends. This flat surface is towards the outside. Also this clip flat surface is going towards the outside too. Okay, as you can see, I've attached the both sides. So it bends again. That's where the flat surface is. This is where the flat surface is. This is what it's supposed to look like. And you've got a long cable on the other end visible. So let's put that on the side for the time being. Okay, so now I've taken all the clips off from the X-axis cable chain. What we're going to do is we're going to be feeding through the Z motor cable first. So as you can see, that's the Z motor cable marked. So mark side is going to be on the bottom end, and the 6-pin which feeds into the motor is going to be on top. So I'm going to just feed that through, and then I'm going to feed the other end through the clip. As you can see, I haven't taken the clip off, but I can still slide the cable through it. I'm just going to leave about that much length out. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I'm also going to need the end stop cable that's part of the electronics box. You'll find it in the electronics box. It's got two identical 3-pins on the either side. I'm just going to feed that either side of it through the front end first, and then, oops, that came off. Front end first, and then the other end is going to feed through the bottom end. And now that I've fed that through, I'm happy with that. Now we're also going to be needing the Y motor cable to go through the same cable chain. So let's go ahead and grab the longer end of the Y motor cable that feeds into the electronics board, and feed that back through the front end of the other cable chain. Pull that all the way through. And then feed that through the bottom clip of the cable chain. Okay, so you should have both the Z-axis and the Y-axis cable, which is going to feed into the electronics board on the bottom end, along with one of the end stop cable. on the other side, I should have the Z motor cable that's going to feed through here, and the end stop for the Z axis that's going to come out of this end. And then I have the Y motor cable is going to come through the top cable chain. Okay, now that I'm happy with this setup, I'm gonna go ahead and lay that flat like this, and I'm gonna start putting the clips back on. I'm just skipping a few spots for now so that I can first secure the cable in place and it doesn't come off. And now I'm going to attach the rest of the clips. Okay, so that should have it fully covered. So now we have both the cable chain set with the cables. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the brackets to hold the cable chain in place. First up, we're going to attach the motor side cable. Okay, so there are a few attachments you can see. The way it's gonna work is this is what's gonna attach onto towards the Y motor, and that mounting block is gonna go onto the motor itself. And on this end we're gonna have the L attachment that's gonna go like this, and then on this end we're going to have the cover that's going to go onto the platform itself. It's going to go like this, and then on this end we're going to have another attachment that's going to go like this, and this is a spare support for the Z-axis. So let's go ahead and attach these one by one. So first I'm going to attach is the Z-axis mount. It's going to go in that direction like this, and we're going to be using the countersunk screws provided. Okay, so you should have 12 of the countersunk screws. And you would need either a flathead screwdriver or the Phillips screwdriver to put that in place. So let's go ahead and align that against the clip. As you can see, it's on the back side of the clip itself, and three holes should align with the holes on this side. And we're going to be inserting the countersunk screws from the inside. This will be a little bit wiggly, so be mindful of that. Very tight space. Just like that, I've secured that in place. That's for the Z-axis. That's going to go into the motor mount. Then I'm going to attach the L clip on this side. It's designed to fit in behind the clip again, like this. The three holes should align, and I'm going to put that flat against the surface. Alternatively, to make life easier, you can potentially unclip it from the hinge itself. Attach the clip onto the bracket first, and then clip it back on. So there are multiple ways you can go about it, but I'm just going to go ahead and install it like this. Okay, so the Z-axis mounts are ready on that end. Now let's go ahead and attach the platform cover. That's gonna go over the top like this. Again, put it flat down. Move the cables out of the way. Like this. put the countersunk screw, align it against the hole. And secured in place. Okay, so that's been secured, and now the bottom end, again we're going to use one of the L brackets, and that's going to go underneath like this. Again, I'm going to put that flat like this, and attach the screws. Now that it's secured, so as you can see, that's the X frame clip that's going to go like this, and this is the Z frame that's going to attach like this. While we at it, we can also attach the mounting bracket, the motor mount for the Y axis. As you can see, it's designed to fit only one way, in one orientation. If you fit it like this, it's not going to fit because the holes are not going to align. So make sure they align nice and flat, and then we're going to be using M3x8 to put that in place. So I'm just going to be using two M3x8s. Like this, put it through the hole, and I'm going to be attaching it to this and that hole right there, go across. Okay, so that's grabbed onto it nicely. You can obviously slide it to the left and right to make sure it aligns. And once both the holes have aligned, I can go ahead and tighten it. So as you can see, that's what the motor mount is going to look like. Two M3x8 holding that in place, and that's going to go onto the motor. Okay, so now we've got the cable chain prepared, we can go ahead and install that onto our gantry. X-axis cable can stay on the side for the time being. Okay. Through here. So we can go ahead and just install the cable mount onto the platform itself first. It's designed to basically fit onto the profile like this. It's got groove underneath that should able to help you align. You want to make sure that that first two holes are aligned against the first slot of the profile. We're going to be needing the M5x8 in the golden nuts. go ahead and grab M5x8. Two of them. I can go ahead and put the rolling nut in there. One, then on the second. There are 2 holes on each side, but we can only use 2 on one on each of the profile. So I'm going to go ahead and secure that. I'm going to go ahead and put the other M5x8 and secure that in place. Remember that I can still move it left to right. I want to make sure that this top is secured aligned with the bottom itself, so I'm going to leave it loose for the time being. This axis can chill just here for now. And then I want to make sure that I've got a full travel available. So this one comes from all the way back here, and then this one can attach just in front somewhere around there, making sure that I can still maintain the arc itself and not have a pull on the cable. So now I'm gonna use another M5 rolling nut, and then I'm gonna attach one just on the profile. And then I'm going to use M5x8 again and put that through and somewhat secure easily. Okay, so I'm somewhat happy with that location because I've got a full travel here and it's got enough radius taking care of it. So it's about 30 millimeters from the front end. So let's go ahead and secure that in place to start with. Okay, so that's been secured. I'm happy with that, as you can see. Now I'm going to bring that right over it, and I want to make sure that both this top and bottom are aligned in this plane so that there is no sideway movement. So I'm going to push that in, as you can see, bring close as possible, and make sure that's nice and aligned along here, top and bottom. So I'm somewhat happy with that, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten the cable mount itself onto the platform. Okay, so that's fully secured. I'm happy with that right there. Now I'm going to install the Z-axis mount, Z-axis cable chain itself. For that, I want to make sure that I go right at the top of the topmost position that I can travel to. As you can see, it can come loose if your lead screw is not tight enough, so I'm just going to spin it. And get it to travel all the way up. Okay, so all the way up, so it touches the top surface onto it. I'm just going to make sure that the lead screw is secured again properly, so I'm going to loosen that first. And make sure that lead screw sits in nice and flush. Once I'm happy with it, I'm going to tighten that again. Like that. I'm also going to give it a few more turns onto the shaft screw itself. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now I'm gonna spin that again. Spin the lead screw anti-clockwise and push it all the way up. Okay, so I'm happy with the position there. Now I'm going to attach the motor mount. Let's go ahead and attach the motor mount like this, and you should be able to just push that right through it and it will clip onto the motor itself, and that's secured already. Now you want to make sure that we position this in a way so that this is aligned properly. Okay, so I'm happy with that, and I can secure it somewhere around here like this. And I'm going to insert a rolling nut. Okay. Just there, and I'm going to use an M5x8. Okay, and I'm kind of happy with that position there, so I'm going to go ahead and secure that in place. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now remember, we also have a one spare other one. It's basically designed to make sure that when the cable chain travel downwards, it doesn't push this out of whack. So I'm going to bring that down. Like this. And that's the lowest position it's going to travel to, and I'm going to attach the support profile just there, so it doesn't allow the cable chain to come loose on this side. I'm going to use one of the rolling nut. And M5x8. Let's secure that first somewhere around here, and then we can move that back into position. Okay. I'm happy with that position, so I'm just gonna secure it right there. Okay, so that's been secured. Now we can go ahead and attach the motor cable to the motor itself. Right underneath, like this. Once you're happy with it, we can get a cable tie. And secure it against it. Okay, I'm happy with that. Then also securing it on this end, so there is no unnecessary pull or push on either side. So I'm just giving a little bit of, keeping a little bit loose on the inside of the cable chain. Once I'm happy with it, I can secure it, cut it. Now that has been secured, Now I can go ahead, feed these cables underneath, and I can pull this if I need to, and this cable needs to come through and attach onto the end stop itself like this. And then I'm going to attach the cable into the front of the motor like this. That is the Z motor. Now that it's been secured, I'm going to make sure the cables are not too loose. They need to tuck right underneath like this. And then I can use a cable tie, push a cable tie right through this gap, tuck the cables underneath like that, and once I'm happy with it, I can secure them just there, so they're not going to move necessarily. Okay, now these cables can be pulled just a little bit as you need. And I'm going to use another cable tie to tie it onto the cable chain mount itself. Okay, I'm happy with that. And now we're going to come to this end. Again, we don't want to keep it too loose or too tight, so I'm going to attach another cable tie. There's a space underneath, so cable tie should be able to slide through it. If not, you can always lift it up a little bit. Make sure the cable tie is underneath it. Once you're happy with it, go ahead and tie that cable. There. And now these cables are ready to feed into your electronics box, and the gantry is ready for cabling. It's moving nicely. As you can see, so the cabling is ready for the next step. Obviously we'll be attaching that once the electronics is ready. Also, while I'm at it, I'm just going to attach the remaining end caps. So there should have been 6 end caps, for some reason I only have 4. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the end caps onto the, based on the tolerance, you might just have to give it a tiny bit of tap like this. Now that's secured in place. So we're ready for the next step. nicely. Okay. Let's run the check on electronics. Okay, so when it comes to electronics box, this is designed to fit like this. And so first we can attach the power cables to the electronics. So you've got the SKR board, the power PD board. So I'm going to get the power PD board out. That's what it looks like. Cables. I'm going to fit the cables onto the board itself. So we've got the VCC and the ground, as you can see. So VCC, the red cable goes into the VCC like this. And the ground cable, which is the black one, feeds into it like this once they both have been fitted. You can tighten them. So right now it's set to 9 volts. What we want to do is we want to set that to 12 volts, 101. So at the back of it you can see it says 12 volts 101, S1, S2, S3. So S1 and S3 needs to be in 1 position, S2 needs to be in 0 position. So I'm going to go ahead and put the S1 S1, S2, S3, all of them seem to be off, so we need to make sure that we put S1 and S3 into 1 position. So S1 and S3 in one position, and now you're good to go. Next thing, we're going to attach that cable to the power side of the SKR. These are the first two pins on this side. I'm going to go ahead and grab the two power points. So remember, they go onto the plus and minus. So plus is the red one, so red one on the far end, and then the black one next to it. Once you're happy with it, go ahead and secure it. Okay, and then we're going to be using the UART cable. That UART cable feeds into the first socket. Like this. Jumper attach on the outside, going on the inside. Two jumpers attach, B and REE. B and REE. You also want to make sure that there are two jumpers attached. So one of the location is this. And the other one is so these are the XY axis jumper cables. Remember, we have them set as sensorless homing, so hence the jumper needs to be attached. And now we can attach the UART cable onto the Raspberry Pi. So the red one stays on the outside. Remember these first four pins on this side. So on the bottom row facing outside, the first one is the red one. Fits like this. The red one on the outside, on the back row, and the green one on the inside. Power cable attached, jumper cable attached, and now you're good to go. So in order to attach that onto the enclosure, we're going to put that flat first, like this. We've got M3 We've got the screws provided in the bag with the SKR, so I'm going to be using two of them. So one of them in the far corner. side. And they should suffice to hold the board in place. Okay, that's been secured. Now I'm going to secure the Raspberry Pi. It's going to sit like this. Again, I'm going to be using the other two screws provided, and use two corners. Okay, so I've secured them nicely, as you can see. Use two screws, one here and one here, to secure that in place. One here, one here. And then for the Raspberry Pi, one there. Again, checking two jumper cables for the X and Y axis, and then UART cable, green one on the inside and red one on the outside on the bottom row. Power cable, checking again, positive, red and black, positive on the corner, the black on the inside. Once you're happy with it, you can go ahead and place that. Slide the power board into the gap like this, and that should hold that in place. And once we're happy with that, we can put the cover on. But before we put the cover on, we want to make sure that we put the cables for the end stop where it belongs. So let's go ahead and bring the gantry in, so we can attach the cable. Okay. So the way it's going to go is we're going to first grab the end stop cable, and we're going to feed that through this gap here, and then we're going to attach that onto the first Z end stop. So that's been secured, and I'm happy with it. Make sure the cable has been modified from 3-pin to 2-pin socket as shown in the guide before. So I'm happy with that. Now I can easily plug in the motor cables. The X, Y, and Z are labeled just there. So go ahead and install. Let's attach the Z cable first for the Z axis. Let's attach the Y axis cable. And we haven't attached the X axis cable yet. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the X axis cable marked X. And I'm going to go ahead and attach that onto it like this. And now that I'm happy with it, I'm going to go ahead and attach the case on top. Again, that's going to fit this flat there like this. And again, I'm going to grab the M3x8. So I'm going to go ahead and grab two of the M3x8. And secure that cover on top. Okay, so that's been secured. I'm happy with that. I can go ahead and attach the x-axis cable onto the motor like this. And now your wiring is pretty much complete. I've also printed a cradle that's going to allow you to put the box just there like this. And any excess cable you have, you can basically bundle that and feed into the gap at the back like this, and that should hold it in place. Feel free to tuck that in how you like. Feel free to put a tape or something on to secure that in place once you're happy with it. And now the setup is pretty much ready. I should put something here, or a clip or something that allows me to secure the cable. Okay.